let's go over a delicate topic, okay? Do you know what? It's never picked up. I don't think I've ever seen another PT talking about it, but it's out there and it should be talked about. And let's just wade right into this, okay? Question. And it's probably going to affect people that are, you know, probably a little bit older, or certain people, which will become clear. So let's talk about this. Do you find that you pee? Yeah, we're talking about the body, yeah? So you pee when you cough, or when you sneeze, or when you have a good old laugh, or when you're out for a run, or you're jumping, yeah? Do you find that if you've got to bend over to grab something, or you've got to pick something heavy up, that you might let out a little fart, you know, might break wind a bit, yeah? Okay, they're classic symptoms of a weak pelvic floor, okay? So your pelvic floor is basically, it's all the muscles down here, which are basically all the muscles that in your genital area and supporting your bladder, etc. Okay, and they get weaker over time if you don't use them. Yeah, they also get weaker if you've had a child. They also get weaker if you've been unfortunate enough to have prostate cancer treatment. They can get weaker if you're obese, because if you're obese, there's a fair chance that you're not very active and you're not very strong, and those muscles have not been used much, okay? If you're unfortunate enough to often suffer from chronic constipation, that could be a trigger, yeah? So basically what happens is the muscles just get lazy, they get weak, okay? And it can affect your bladder control, that is for sure. So, you know, you find that you're sudden urge to have a pee and you don't quite make it to the loo, you know, or, you know, you dribble a little bit out. It happens, you know, let's not pretend it doesn't, yeah? Millions of people all get the same problem, okay? It can affect your sex life, you know, if those muscles are not engaging properly or correctly or fast enough, you know, it might not, it might impact your sex life, and it might not be as good as it might be, okay? You know, so pelvic floor is quite important, yeah? So you can work on it. A lot of people dismiss pelvic floor exercises and strengthening as a myth, doesn't work and all that sort of stuff. Well, okay, it might not be the holy grail, but if you do it religiously for a long time and you consciously bring those movements into your exercise routines, I guarantee it will improve things, okay? So you might have heard of a Kegel exercise. So I'm going to try and explain what a Kegel exercise is for you. So basically, let's suppose you're out and about, and you know, day out, day trip, on the motorway, something like that. And do you know what? All of a sudden, God forbid, you need a poo. Or you need a pee. Yeah? And you know, you're not going to be able to do it for like 20 minutes, half an hour, because you've got to find somewhere, or you've got to get to the services, yeah? So what do? You clench, don't you? You clench your bum, you clench your genitals, you clench. You're trying to hold it in, okay? Right, so everybody's done it, we all have done that, yeah? And that feeling, that clenching that you do, desperately not to go to the loo, that's basically how a Kegel works, yeah? So if you're following it correctly, what you do is, let's imagine, start off in your head, you need a number 2. Yeah, you desperately need to go to the loo for a number 2. Yeah, you need a poo, right? But you're not going to. So you squeeze, you clench your bum, clench your butthole, clench it, right? Yeah, and you hold that clench. Yeah. Once you've got there, that's halfway there. Then you're going to try and zip yourself up. Yeah. So you're going to try and hold that tension and squeeze the muscles through underneath to your genitals and clench those at the same time. Yeah, it's like you're trying to clench them and suck them up into your body. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Yeah, and you're going to hold it. Once you've got them both clenched up, you're going to hold that feeling for like 10-15 seconds. Yeah, hold it. Yeah, then when you get 10 seconds, you're going to relax and engage, relax and engage, relax and engage. So it's like relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze 10 times, and then at the end you're going to hold it again for another 10-15 seconds. Yeah, that's a Kegel, that's pelvic floor exercise. Yeah, all right, it's actually quite straightforward. It takes a little bit of practice to master it, but everyone can do it, because if you can hold yourself from going to the loo, you can do a Kegel. Okay, so that's how you do a Kegel exercise. Yeah, if you were to do that 2 or 3 times a day, especially during pregnancy, pre and post, definitely going to help improve things for your, your life later on, shall we say? Yeah. So Kegels are great. Men and women, we're all the same. Especially men of a certain age. Once you get to your 50s and that, if you haven't had a particularly active life, I bet you that you could do with doing some Kegels, guys. All right. Another good thing to think of is when you're in the gym, or even if you're not in the gym and you're a home exerciser, yeah, and you're doing some squats, squeeze on the way up, Kegel, squeeze, engage everything. Yeah, squats are great for strengthening your pelvic floor, especially if you combine it with a Kegel. Yeah, the other one, great one to do, is a nice glute bridge on the floor. Lift your hips, get your bum up high, and then squeeze those muscles again. Squeeze them and hold them. And then relax, come up again, squeeze and hold them. Yeah, great exercises you can add in to your gym workout. No one will know, no one knows you're doing a Kegel. Just do it. I promise it will make life better. Any questions? Give me a shout.